Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. Disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar was stabbed multiple times in a Florida prison. We have the latest on his condition. And this man is accused of being a peeping Tom. Victoria police want your help in identifying the suspect this morning. And believe it or not, this is the backyard of a home in New York. You're looking at the aftermath of torrential rain battering the state. This story and more straight ahead on Sunrise.
A live view one more time from Cuero and see a few clouds in the distance. Otherwise, we'll have hot and sunny conditions again today. Triple-digit heat index value for Cuero, definitely on the agenda for today. We'll talk about that in your forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
Trey Mining here.
And today it's the 11th day of July, 2023, and the time is now 6:31 on our Tuesday morning. It's just Tuesday, but it's also National All-American Pet Photo Day. Trey, I posted a photo of one of my 3 dogs, Diego, the other day.
I bet it was cute. I have to look at it and see.
Now it's Bruno's turn, so I'll take Bruno's photo today.
There you go. You gotta treat them equally.
Yes, but I'm going to take this photo inside because it's too hot for the dogs.
I would say
there.
so. That is the best advice yet. Yes, it's not fit for man or beast out there.
No.
I'll tell you what, hot temperatures with triple-digit heat index value again today. I'll take a live look at Cuero one more time and the current conditions. Already, Carolina, already at 6:30, it's 81 degrees in Victoria.
Are they going to have the cooling stations, Trey?
I have to find out about that. I'm not quite
out.
sure what the status is on that, but I'll find out later on today, and we'll get the news out to everyone. And heat index value approaching near 90 degrees on the outside, humidity 94%, winds from the south at 10 miles per hour, bringing in that moisture continuously off the Gulf of Mexico. And that's the Puerto Vaca webcam that's down temporarily, but it'll be back up in a few minutes. Temperatures in the 80-degree range all the way from the coast to inland areas near Victoria and Goliad and Cuero this morning. And you add that to heat indices, be above 105 to 110 degrees today. So all the Crossroads counties, no matter where you are from the coast, all the way inland areas and even in the hill country, you're under heat advisory throughout the day today. 12 noon until 8 p.m. actually is the time of the advisory, but already these are posted just in a reminder of that are going to affect it at 12 noon. Heat warnings in the Corpus Christi metro area down to about Alice or so, and further south from there, Orange Grove, into the areas in the Corpus Christi metropolitan area. And for us here, of course, the heat index value is approaching 105, 110 by the afternoon time. Let's take a look at that map, why don't we? By 9 o'clock this morning, we're already in the 90s. 102 heat index value by 11 o'clock in the morning time. 110, there we go, by 2 or 3 o'clock. Please stay inside. If you have to be outside, take frequent breaks. I mean, like a 15-minute break every 15 minutes or so. And drink plenty of good, cold ice water to keep you cool. What about your forecast for the rest of the week? We got you covered a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. A man died after losing control of his vehicle Sunday. Authorities say he was traveling southbound on Farm to Market Road 794 when he lost control on a curve and hit a tree. The exact cause of death is the biggest question right now because the vehicle did catch fire. Authorities are identifying the man killed as 29-year-old Rene Ramirez. Ramirez was a Gonzales native. Disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar was stabbed several times during an altercation in a Florida prison. Federal Corrections Officer Union Leader says he was stabbed twice in the neck, twice in the back, and 6 times in the chest by another inmate. Nassar is said to be in a stable condition this morning following the stabbings despite suffering a collapsed lung. Nassar was sentenced to decades in prison after pleading guilty to sexually assaulting gymnasts and other athletes, including Olympic medalists, under the guise of medical treatment for hip and leg injuries. Ultimately, more than 150 accusers spoke out or submitted statements detailing his abuse during this trial. The abuses took place while Nassar worked at Michigan State University and for USA Gymnastics. A peeping Tom is on the run this morning. Authorities say a man followed 2 different women into a Target dressing room and took inappropriate pictures of them with his cell phone. Here is the man accused. Authorities say he was confronted and left the store. This all happened Friday at around 3:30 p.m. at the Target on Northeast Eklunds Parkway. Police need your help in taking him down. If you recognize him, call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. We now turn to a 6-year-old from Florida who stood tall and protected herself when police say a man tried to kidnap her.
You're playing over here?
With my sisters and brothers.
And then where did he come from?
I'm from this way.
This brave little girl in Miami is describing the moment she was nearly kidnapped while playing outside. 6-year-old Lyric says a man approached her and grabbed her.
When he came and grabbed you, did you scream?
Yes.
She described to our Miami station, WPLG, what happened next.
And then what'd you do?
Yeah, I beat him.
And then what?
Then he slapped me and threw me on the floor.
Police say the man in this video grabbed Lyric and tried to take her, but she fought back, not only biting the man, who was many times her size, but also getting a good look at him.
What did he look like?
Got black hair with Jesus earrings and white clothes.
Police later arresting this man, Leonardo Venegas, with that black hair, cross earring, and white shirt, just as Lyric had described. Lyric credited her mom with teaching her a timeless lesson.
And what does your mom say about strangers?
Don't talk to strangers.
I told her, don't talk to strangers, and if anything happens, just try to pick up something that's close to her and just hit her with it.
Police commending Lyric for her intelligence and bravery.
We're thankful that she, did enough to save her life.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
What a smart young lady there. Lyric's mother says they're now planning to move. Until then, Lyric will be playing inside. Following prolonged rain and storms in New York, a resident captured video of their backyard, which was transformed into a waterfall. This type of flooding is hitting several communities after the storms dumped nearly a foot of rain in some areas, including the Hudson Valley. In fact, a rare flash flood emergency is issued in parts of the state, urging people to move to higher ground and avoid travel if possible. Orange County leaders say one woman in her 40s was killed when she was swept away as she was trying to evacuate her home as floodwaters rose. Several people were hurt at Monday's running of the Bulls Festival in Pamplona. Thousands of tourists come from all over the world every year for the week-long festival to watch runners run the 875-meter course chased by fighting bulls. The run usually takes 2 to 3 minutes to the bull ring where the run ends. 10 people were hurt during this year's run, 6 of whom were taken to the hospital. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the American author Ernest Hemingway's first visit to the festival, which he made internationally famous in his 1926 novel, The Sun Also Rises. Wow, looks pretty dangerous. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now just about 6:38 on your Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. An Indiana sheriff deputy has died following an attack by a jail inmate on Monday.
The White House is lauding Turkey for withdrawing its objection to Sweden joining NATO. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more on today's high-stakes NATO summit and the leaders now set for face-to-face meetings with President Biden.
Okay, let's take a look on the outside. Yesterday's high was 98 degrees, low 77 degrees. We're pretty much near these temperatures again today, or maybe a degree or two higher actually. Record high of 107 back in 1917, nowhere near that. Rainfall, we're still getting near 2 inches under normal and still continue to build on that number there on the negative side. Any rain we're trying to find? Well, I'll let you know what I find coming up a little bit later on.
Fentanyl crisis, unmasking the deadly wave. Join 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel for a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday, July 13th at 10 p.m. We focus on the alarming rise of the deadly drug fentanyl.
What you know about fentanyl is probably maybe 10% of the reality.
Fentanyl is easy to make and cheap to get, and it has flooded communities across the United States, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Don't miss this eye-opening extra that could save lives.
Good morning. Current time is 6:40 on the outside. And let's review the temperatures once again. 98 degrees was a high yesterday, low 77 degrees. Above normal on both high and low, and we should be near that again today with below normal rainfall, almost 2 inches under normal here in Victoria. So all the rain we need to get, and it needs to be happening very quickly, fairly quickly, before we add more to that total, which looks like we will with the rain chances out of the forecast with high pressure dominating our weather here. A few high clouds from time to time, otherwise keeping the atmosphere mostly on the clear side thanks to sinking air brought on by this high pressure ridge. Once again, moving into the state of Texas, kind of floating around for the next several days, keeping the storms away from us here. And actually, the high pressure here over Texas is impacting these folks up here, getting all the rainfall there in the New England states. Why is that? Because the storm track, which would naturally be around here in the lower parts of the country, near Oklahoma, North Texas, and some of them like this, moving on through, all the storm systems that come in the west coast are forced to go up and around the high pressure center and toward New England, where we get repeat rainfall up there, causing the catastrophic flooding. Nothing like that here. We're dealing with the heat. A full forecast, get us a little bit. We'll be in here a few minutes before we go this half hour. Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. Now to a major headline from that high-stakes NATO summit in Lithuania. Turkey is withdrawing its long-held objections to Sweden joining the alliance. That development comes as President Joe Biden and the leaders of NATO allied nations take up a critical agenda, including Ukraine's ongoing war and potential NATO membership.
Yes, the Lithuanian capital hosting an already history-making NATO summit. Turkey's President Erdogan and Swedish Prime Minister Kristersson shaking hands following Erdogan's decision to drop Turkey's opposition to Sweden joining NATO.
Vladimir Putin has been counting on the West to crack, NATO to crack, the Transatlantic Alliance to crack. He has been disappointed at every turn. Vilnius will very much disappoint him.
The announcement also comes after President Biden voiced his desire to see Sweden join NATO as soon as possible in a pre-summit phone call with Erdogan. After his about-face, Erdogan's now lobbying for support for Turkey to join the European Union. At the summit, Ukraine's near 2-year-long war with Russia is top of mind. Though the Western allies remain committed to backing Kyiv, President Biden says granting Ukraine membership now is a risk.
If the war is going on, then we're all in the war. You know, we're at war with Russia.
In a sign of unity, Biden and Ukraine's President Zelensky now set for talks tomorrow.
Ukraine deserves to be in the alliance, he said. Not now, there is a war, but we need a clear signal. And we need this signal right now.
The president has kept a busy schedule in Europe, meeting with Britain's King Charles and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. After the NATO summit wraps tomorrow, President Biden is set to deliver a speech before making more stops in Europe, including to newly admitted NATO ally Finland. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
To your viewer poll, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you support Ukraine joining NATO? Let's take a look. 72% of you say yes, and 28% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. An Indiana sheriff's deputy has died following an attack by a jail inmate on Monday, authorities say. Deputy John Durham was transporting an inmate who he had just taken to a hospital visit in Indianapolis when the incident occurred. The inmate, 34-year-old Orlando Mitchell, assaulted Durham outside the Criminal Justice Center following the attack. Mitchell then took control of the van and then drove it out of the Criminal Justice Center, where he crashed into a utility pole before deputies took him into custody. Durham was transported to a local hospital where he later died. Indianapolis police are investigating the incident as an intentional act of homicide. The suspect has been jailed since September of 2022, awaiting trial for the murder of his ex-girlfriend. Coming up, don't go anywhere. We hear from artist Kent Olberg. We'll be right back. Okay, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Miranda. Would like to wish Miranda a happy, wonderful birthday from your family and friends that love you very, very much. Enjoy your day. Mommy loves you to the moon and back.
And also happy birthday to Val. Wishing you a wonderful B-Day. Love from Ron, Beta, Sid, Lily, and Snow.
Ooh, I like that margarita. And happy birthday to Bernice. Hope your day is amazing. Love, May.
Happy 40th birthday to Matthew. Love from Ron, Beta, Sid, Lily, and Snow.
Oh, they want us all be friends. And happy birthday today to Alicia Cara, the Grammy-winning singer, turning 27. So young, Trey. I remember being 27.
Oh, yes, I remember those days, a long time ago for me now. Happy birthday to Suzanne from your McAdams Floral family. Have a great one. I know you will. To see the birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com and go to the link there on the site. And let's see, there we go. Go to crossroadstoday.com. You know, I think you have this memorized as much as I read it, but I still don't. More, and you'll see how you submit your birthday.
Oh, Trey, you're the best. And we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you're celebrating one today, happy birthday. I think we're in Cancer right now.
I believe so,
that's
yes.
the sign we're going through right now. All right, well, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning. It's just about 10 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. And take a look at these feel-like temperatures, heat index value. By 11 a.m., we're at 102 here in Victoria, and they're pretty much the same everywhere you go, even down the coast and western and eastern parts of the counties here in the Crossroads. And by 4 o'clock, 109 to 110 heat index value by then in Victoria County and most of the area as well. Even some 112s and 113s from areas of Yoakum, Cuero points to the north. Very hot temperatures today, and it's going to continue for the foreseeable future, at least for the course of this week. A few high clouds in the morning time, that's about all, and not amounting to any precipitation at all, keeping the sun in by late morning and the afternoon, keeping our atmosphere sunny, bright, and baking. That's the best thing I can think of. 100 degrees for the daytime air temperature high here in Victoria. Heat index value approaching 110 in the afternoon. Heat advisory for the afternoon hours goes into effect at noon until 8 p.m. Overnight low near 80 degrees, mostly clear skies. And highs tomorrow near the 100 degree mark again for your Wednesday. And we'll keep that trend going for the foreseeable future with highs near 100 degrees each day with sunny skies through the weekend.
I'm now joined by artist Kent Uhlberg. He's here from Corpus Christi to talk to us about a show he's got going on in Rockport. Welcome, Kent.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, it's great to meet you. Talk to us about some of your artwork. What can we expect at the Center of the Arts there in Rockport? And I understand you have some antiquities you want to promote here as well.
Well, I don't know if you call it antiquities. You know, I have sculptures all over the place, public sculptures, including the Jesus statue downtown, the namesake of Corpus Christi, and in Rockport, I have quite a few. I have about 25 public sculptures around the area, you know, in this whole in the whole county here. But in Rockport, they built a beautiful new art center. I really recommend it. I mean, it's miraculous.
It's gorgeous.
And it's thanks to Luis Perron and his patrons. They got fantastic patrons in Rockport.
And they just celebrated their big fundraising gala. I've only been before the hurricane in 2017, and just to imagine it reborn in the way that it has been.
Exactly, because it was just a modest wooden house, you know, and it got wiped out. And I exhibited there with my friends for years, and we thought that was the end of the art scene in Rockport. And then comes Luis and created this fantastic, together with his patrons. He had they're wonderful patrons in Rockport.
They're doing great work. And what else can we expect if we pay a visit there?
Well, first at the entrance is my sculpture in the sculpture garden, and it's of two seahorses together. Maritime romance, male and female in a wrap, and the tails form an upside-down heart, 8 foot tall.
Wow!
And then I have a one-man exhibit in the main gallery upstairs. They call the H&B Gallery, and it's sponsored by what's it called again? The vodka company.
Oh, Tito's.
Tito's
How
vodka.
did I know?
I drank so much I can't remember.
Well, what are those show dates? We know it's there right now.
Yeah, the show is there right now, and it closes August 6th.
August 6th.
Yeah.
So the Rockport Center of the Arts, don't miss it. It's Kent Uhlberg with his sculpture work, and it's quite prolific here on the South Texas coast. Thank you so much, Kent.
Thank you.
All right, don't go anywhere. Coming up, we're back with more news after this break. The trial for a Virginia father charged in the death of his son began Monday. In May 2021, Chesterfield police found the remains of 51-year-old Casey Weaver's son inside a freezer in a home. Investigators believe Eliel Adon Weaver's remains were found in the freezer for nearly 2 years, and that he was under the age of 5 when he died. Cassian Weaver is facing 3 charges, including felony murder and felony child neglect. The boy's mother, Dina Weaver, is expected to take the stand during the week-long trial. She was facing charges in the case alongside her husband in 2021, but prosecutors withdrew her charges last year. After reviewing evidence, the jury trial will resume this morning. Lawyers of former President Donald Trump asked the court to postpone the trial for the document case against him. In a late filing Monday, the attorneys cited the upcoming election as a reason to delay the trial. They said, in part, quote, proceeding to trial during the pendency of a presidential election cycle will create extraordinary challenges in the jury selection process, adding, quote, that the court should therefore withdraw the current order setting trial and postpone any consideration of a new trial date. The Justice Department is asking for a mid-December trial date. Rudy Giuliani is negotiating a resolution to a lawsuit brought on him by 2 former Georgia election workers. Wandrea Shea Moss and Ruby Freeman sued the former New York mayor for defaming them following the 2020 election. They've already won nearly $90,000 from him from attorney fees. In a court filing late Friday, Moss and Freeman's legal team say Giuliani's lawyer approached them on Thursday to discuss a potential negotiated resolution, adding that they've all, quote, worked diligently to negotiate a resolution and believe they are close. Another update on the negotiations is expected in court on Tuesday. Forest Street is now closed between Bridge and Main Street so workers can start on the De Leon Plaza expansion project. The project will convert this block of Forest Street into an expanded pedestrian and performance area with a pavilion, seating, a public restroom, and space for food trucks. The project should be completed in March 2024. Pack the Bus registration is underway for children in need of school supplies. You can register to receive supplies online on Faith Family Church's website. That's myfcc.com/packthebus. Supplies will also be given out Saturday, August 5th at the Faith Family location on Mockingbird. For questions about registration, stop by Faith Family Church Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon and contact Tiffany Candingo at 361-573-2484. Victoria is featured on a series called YOLO Texas TV. You only live once, Texas, and you can watch YOLO Texas on KAVU Sunday at noon. It's a 30-minute travel and lifestyle show that highlights topics of interest to Texans. Join them each week as they visit unique cities, towns, restaurants, museums across the state. You can also catch the episode on their YouTube channel at YOLO TX TV. Let's go ahead and get a last look at our forecast with Trey.
Thank you so much, Carolina. Take a look at these heat index values coming up by late morning. 11 o'clock, 102 heat index value by then. And 4 o'clock, 110 to 109 around the region, so definitely on the hot side today. Take precautions. Heat advisory goes into effect at 12 noon till 8 p.m. A few high clouds this morning, otherwise sunny skies with temperatures near 100 degrees for the daytime high. Air temperature, heat index value approaching 110 in the afternoon around the majority of the region. Stay cool on the outside. Overnight lows near 80 degrees. And then for your day tomorrow, near 100 degrees again. Repeating the same process the rest of the time period for the next 7 days. Stay safe and cool out there. Make it a great day, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and be sure to join us tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.